Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. This is Edward Stephens. This is Edward Stephens with the Stephens Group and Reese Nichols. Thanks for joining me here. We're going to talk about the F word tonight in real estate. That's foreclosure. So you don't have to be a real estate wizard to know that foreclosure is bad and you want to do what you can to avoid it. So we're going to talk about how to avoid it. But actually, we're not going to talk about how to avoid it because I could go on and on and on about how to avoid it. What I want to talk about tonight is what you should do if you're facing it. If you happen to be in a foreclosure, if you are thinking about letting your house go. So let's talk about what a foreclosure actually is. Foreclosure just means you own your home and you have a mortgage on it, and the lender isn't being paid on time, and they're looking at you and they want your house. They want your house back. They've given you money to buy the house or whatever. You owe them money. You haven't been paying them, and now they're going to take your house. That's basically foreclosure. They want to take your house. They're going to take your house. And this obviously happens when you don't make your payments. And in terms of how many payments you have to miss before foreclosure sets in, I think after you miss a couple of payments, they're going to be calling you pretty heavily and starting the foreclosure proceedings. What I want to really get into right now, though, is what's going to start to happen when you miss your mortgage payments. Your information goes out in the public domain: your name, your address, phone number, email address, whatever. Your data is mined. It's sold to different companies that compile lists. And then those list companies sell lists of people like you with all your information. They sell them to real estate investors. And real estate investors will call you. They will keep calling you. They will incessantly call you, wanting to buy your house, claiming to have a solution, claiming to be able to help you. And so they're going to know things like what your home is worth after it's all fixed up, and they're going to know what the closing fees are going to be, more or less. And they're going to be calculating how much money they're going to stand to make. They're going to probably even know how much you owe to the bank. And based on that, they're going to call you. They're going to try to get you to sign a contract. Now, these people are not real estate agents. A lot of times almost always, they don't have a real estate license. But what they're going, this industry that's been created is called wholesaling. It's very, very, very popular. And people will call you and try to get you to sign a contract with them to sell your house for an insanely low price, like 40 or 50% off the value of your home. And they're going to get you to sign a contract. They're going to work you on the phone, right? They're going to give you their best sales pitch and try to convince you by hook or by crook that you need to sign this contract or you're going to lose the house. So they'll email the contract to you most of the time. Most of the time, they're not going to actually meet you. They're going to email you the contract. And by the way, they're not going to meet you because these people operate worldwide. There's people that operate off the North American continent. They're calling lists. They have virtual assistants calling lists. They're making thousands of calls a day. They run call centers. And the people that you're dealing with, probably not from here. They're probably not from your city, even though they may say they are. So they're going to get you to sign a contract. and they're going to probably tell you that it's an as-is contract and you don't have to make any repairs, and they're going to probably need 30 days to close, and they're going to give you a certain price. Okay, and they're probably even going to let you say, if you need to leave any of your furniture in there, that's not a problem. So it sounds like, well, the price isn't great, but I really don't want to mess with this house anymore, so I'm going to just give it over to them. They're going to get that contract signed by you, and then they're going to take that contract out into a secondary market. They're going to take that into a different market, and they're going to sell that contract. And they're going to make money selling the contract. So if you and Adam were on the phone, and Adam agreed to buy your home for $200,000, when Adam gets the contract signed from you, Adam's going to go take that contract and try to sell it for $230,000. And that's the hustle. And he's going to get it. And Adam's going to make $30,000. And this is the best part. You're not going to know that Adam made $30,000, because the game is set up for you to not know how much money Adam makes, because Adam knows that if you knew that Adam made $30,000 on the transaction, you would be upset. You might not close the deal. You might try to sue Adam. So Adam and Adam's network, and in fact the whole industry, the title company that they're working with, etc., are going to all work together. Even the guy who's buying the home from Adam, they're all going to make sure that you don't know how much money Adam makes. Okay? That's usually how it goes. So somebody's going to buy the home from Adam for $230,000. The home might be worth $275,000, but you would never know that, right? So who cares? Let's zoom out. Who cares? Why is this a problem? Okay, when you are facing foreclosure, you're desperate. You're down on your luck. You're weak. And just like any weak mammal, you will attract that certain type of animal that is a predatory animal. That animal, just like in the cartoons, right? When you're walking through the desert and you're tired and you're thirsty, and the vultures start circling you. The vultures are circling you when you're in foreclosure, and they're taking dive bombs at you, trying to take you out. And it can feel shameful to talk about going through a foreclosure or not having the money to make your mortgage payment. And it may be something you just don't feel comfortable talking to your friends about, or your family about, or anybody but a stranger, right? And so conveniently, these people don't know you, and it may seem like an easy way out. It's an extremely expensive way out. But it is a way out, but it's extremely expensive. And most of the time you lose a lot of money, more money than you can afford to lose at a time when you desperately need money. They're ready to take whatever remaining profit you have in your life at that point away from you. So you'll get calls, you'll get postcards, you'll get people that are bold enough to knock on the door and stick a business card or a piece of paper on your door that says, "I buy your home cash, no repairs, please call me." You'll probably be driving around, you'll become aware of like little signs on stop signs, or signs stuck in yards or stuff. Buy house for cash, quick sale for cash as is, call this number. People that are willing to buy your home, or people like the Adam example where they're willing to sign you up and then sell your contract off, and take all of your equity out of your home. So that's a pretty prevalent industry. That's an extremely pronounced industry right now, and doesn't seem to be going away. And it seems like it seems pretty unregulated. I mean, that's my opinion, is that these people they're operating out there to get your equity. Basically, it's a game. It's business. For them, it's business. And when you step in, this is another point I want to make. When you step into the arena of real estate unrepresented, it's not like you're dealing with your friends and family and people are going to be nice to you. You are doing business. You are out there doing business, and you may not have as much experience as the guy that you're on the phone with on the other side of the deal. And in fact, you almost certainly don't, because you're in a negative position of foreclosure. This is a guy who's proactively searching and finding opportunities for people like you who are down on your luck. So you need to be very careful. Now, recently, probably within the last couple of years, there's been something a lot more popular. It's probably not been maybe in the last 5 years, a lot more popular than just we're going to buy your house for cash. No. As if that weren't bad enough. We're going to buy your house, right? It's $275,000. We're going to give you $200,000. We're going to steal your house from you, basically. We're going to steal your grandmother's house. We're going to steal widows and orphans' houses from them. As if that weren't bad enough, there's this new thing called subject to financing. It's not really new, but it's a lot more popular now on the internet. Subject to financing. So when you hear the word subject to, you might be able to remember this video. And subject to financing, when it comes to people calling you, hey man, I know that you probably don't have two nickels to rub together, and I'm your last hope, and all you need is a train ticket to New York City, and I'm going to give you that. I'm going to pay you $1,000 for that train ticket or whatever, and you're on your way, and you just give me the house. Like when you get that call, when you get the, I'll buy your house as is, you don't have to worry about it, it's fine. When you get lulled to sleep like that, and then you hear the word, we're going to basically take over your mortgage. When you hear that, your ears need to go, huh? Huh? You need to be like, huh? I remember Edward told me about this. I'm going to take over your mortgage. So, there's a lot of these people that want to take over your mortgage, and they're going to do it in a very sneaky way. They're going to try to convince you that when you close on the home, no one's going to tell your mortgage company. They're going to, the new buyer, the new owner is going to catch up your mortgage payments, but we're not going to tell the mortgage company that the house sold. No. And then the mortgage will just stay in your name. But you don't own the house anymore, but it's still in your name. So if you're tracking, you've sold the house, you have virtually no money, but you still owe your entire mortgage balance. Now, they're going to promise you that they'll make the payments. They'll make them on time. They'll make them every month. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We have a great reputation. Don't you worry. I would never miss a payment. I'm a professional. They're going to say that. They're going to tell you that. And if you are unfortunate enough to believe that turning over your house for pennies on the dollar to a stranger and keeping the mortgage in your name, so the mortgage company is looking at you for the money every month. If you're unfortunate to be one of those people, you're in a very, very bad position if the new owner decides not to pay some month. He might decide he doesn't want to pay. Doesn't matter why, right? Of course he's going to start to pay in the beginning, but like, what about 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now? You still have a mortgage. You will have this on your record for as long as this other owner has the mortgage that he's paying on. If he defaults 5 years from now, you will be in the exact same position that you were in today, except you won't have a house to sell. There's going to be all kinds of problems. You're going to probably be getting calls from the lender's attorney. You're going to be getting, there's going to be a lot of problems. There's going to be a lot of problems because you probably signed something when you took your mortgage that said that the mortgage company would be notified when the home sold. So now you're going to be in trouble. if they don't sell, if they don't make their mortgage payments, if they don't make your mortgage payments on time every month for the next 20 years, right? So the next thing is what happens if they miss a payment or two, right? So like let's say it's 5 years from now and they just decide to not pay it for 2 or 3 months. They get caught up, but they don't pay it for 2 or 3 months. Your credit score is going to go. Now maybe you've taken the time to like rebuild your credit because you were at the brink of foreclosure and you've rebuilt your credit. Now your credit's going to go back down because they didn't make your mortgage payments on time. What can you do about it? Probably nothing. Probably nothing because they have the game figured out. They've already got all the attorneys and they're in some LLC in some other state, somewhere else, and you're not going to be able to find them or reach them or fight through all their legal eagles. And the worst part about it is, let's say you wanted to go out and buy a car. Let's say you wanted to buy a boat. Let's say you wanted to buy a house. Let's say you wanted to buy anything on credit. You may not be approved. Not just because of a credit score issue, but the creditor that's looking at potentially giving you a loan for your next house or whatever, 5 years, 8 years down the road, they might be like, you still owe $175,000. We're not going to approve you for a second mortgage. And you're going to be like, second mortgage? I thought we sold that house. Oh, wait, we didn't. I mean, we did, but we didn't. I can't talk about it. I mean, we did, but we didn't pay the mortgage company off, right? And that's going to be an awkward conversation between you and the guy who's sitting across the table from you thinking about giving you a mortgage. So you have put yourself in you've entrapped yourself financially to these people. Little bit of a detour from what I was originally talking about was the foreclosure, right? So those people show up immediately. When you start looking at foreclosure, they just appear, right? Like the bad angel, right? In the cartoons, it just appears, bing, on your shoulder. I want to be the good angel. Bing, good angel. Most people don't know this, but you can actually call a real estate agent, and a real estate agent can help you get out of this situation. I've helped many clients get out of this situation successfully and make money and get on to a better spot financially in their life, right? And it's not just me. There's other real estate agents out there that do it too, okay? Not all of them have the experience, but some of them do. And the difference between a wholesaler or an investor and a real estate agent is an investor / wholesaler is going to not want you to be represented. They're not going to want you to explore all of your options. And I would argue that a real estate agent, even if they don't get the listing, a good real estate agent is going to present you with all of your options. They may give you an option to list the property. They may give you another option to list the property as is. So list the property, make some repairs, list the property, don't make any repairs, don't list the property. Maybe they do like a silent sale. They can maybe find a buyer off market. There's a lot of different ways that a real estate agent can like solve the problem. And maybe the last resort is to sell the home for a significant reduction in price to an investor. Okay. But if you deal with an investor, a wholesaler, directly without a real estate agent representing you, the wholesaler is going to tell you that it's going to cost you too much. It's going to take you too much time. They're not going to be able to help you. You're going to have to make repairs. It's going to be impossible. You're going to lose your house. And they're going to get you into fear, and you're going to end up losing your house to these people. The last thing that I want to say about foreclosure is, I guess the last thing I want to say about foreclosure is that you have options. I mean, you really have options up until the point where the house is no longer yours. And you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe what anybody tells you on the phone. You can go out and explore it for yourself. And don't be sucked in to anybody's quick, easy solution that may cost you 5 minutes now, but it may cost you tens of thousands of dollars on the back end. You need to take some time and really think about how you can resolve this problem of losing your house in the most profitable way and the most practical way possible. I'm probably going to do other videos on foreclosure. You can reach out to me privately if you have foreclosure questions, and I'll do my best to help you, to get you resources. I may not be the best resource for you. You may need an attorney. You may need a credit counselor. There's a lot of different options out there. My name's Edward Stephens. I'm with the Stephens Group at Reese Nichols. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this was helpful. Share it if you think there's somebody that could benefit from this information. I look forward to seeing you one day at the closing table.